Thank you, Mr. Chair and Ranking Member Graves. I graduated in 1984, and one of my bucket lists was to become a private pilot. I can share with you that I'm in 43 hours of the Cirrus SR-20 and SR-22. This congressional run and my current occupation here serving the public has stalled my training, but I can say the last flight my instructor says you're ready for solo. I'm not there yet, so I've been interrupted. I will also share with you, you talk about the pilot shortage and what have you. My senior, one of my boys is a senior in high school, and on March 22nd, we will be going to the Aviation Career Expo at Lake Superior College in Duluth, Minnesota, a very well-respected college that teaches pilots to fly and gets them interested in the aviation culture. You know, something that I really want to detail is the NOTAM system, and this is for Captain DePete primarily. We know that in 2017 in San Francisco, the Air Canada bus nearly landed on a crowded taxiway, and they mistook it for a cleared runway. Information about that runway closure could have been prevented. The information was located on page 8 of the 27-page list of the San Francisco Airport NOTAMs. The NOTAMs also are frequently state there's birds in the area, what have you. We don't know what type of birds, if they're on the runway, in the air, or nearby. So Captain DePete, can you please discuss some of the issues with the current state of the NOTAM systems and the concerns you have?
Yes, sir, and thank you for that question. I share those same concerns for many, many years. During my 40 years of flying, I haven't seen very many improvements. In fact, I was really delighted when I heard the chairman of the NTSB mention the problem. I've seen and heard of various efforts underway to streamline it. Believe it or not, in my airline, the technology is such that I can use an iPad that will actually decipher that, but it's still buried. There's still too many. You think about the expectation. You're showing up for a flight maybe an hour before, and especially if you're flying international, and you're literally presented with a paper stack about that tall, about that thick, and you have to weed through that to see what is relevant and what isn't. And it's almost, I mean, you'd really have to, you'd have to show up. We do. We do whatever it takes to make it safe. But I share your concern with that, and we're actively working to try to fix that. We've got folks that are working in the air. We have the largest non-governmental safety organization in the world, and we're working with the FAA to somehow fix that. But again, you know, this really comes down to the funding issue again. You know, the FAA's taxing, there's so much coming at them from so many different angles, you know, between UAS and commercial space, and we're all a part of that effort. But a steady, reliable source of funding would be a step in the right direction. So thank you for the question.
Thank you, Captain, for that answer. And as Ranking Member Graves talks about, aviation is an extremely safe way to travel, and we're going to make it safer. And I appreciate you talking about the funding, because that's what we're meeting for today. So, Captain DePete, I will say this, that I am introducing a bill to form a task force to address these concerns with the NOTAMs, and I hope you'll take part in it. And I think that's one of a number of additional safety items we can bring to the pilots and the culture in aviation, and I hope you'll support that.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Mr. Chairman, I yield back.